Hey, what's up guys, it is DPort here from DPortGaming and welcome to another WarCraft 3 audio commentary. And today I got a game between the yellow human player Yumiko against the light blue undead player. This is actually Cechi. His name is Why Did I Choose Undead? Kind of funny, but yeah, this is Cechi, and Cechi's actually not doing his standard fiend build. He's going for delayed fiends or maybe even a ghoul build, one for the quick zig and quick altar. It's kind of interesting because usually we see Cechi go for the standard crypt graveyard. That's what he usually does. He's going for the crypt. We're not seeing a quick graveyard, so probably not going to see quick fiends. Yumiko going for a power build on Altar of Kings. Kind of interesting to see that on the map Turtle Rock, just because it's not really necessary to do it for quick creeping. I mean, Archmage, when he gets out, it's going to be nice. He's actually going for a quick Mountain King. So maybe if you want to go for a quick expansion or even a quick level 3 with Mountain King, could be okay. But I really don't get why he might have done that. So kind of interesting. A different kind of base build as well. It's kind of going out, leaving up this little open space over here, and we do have a quick acolyte scout, or acolyte, excuse me, some people like to say that. And yeah, actually having a graveyard as well as that Tomb of Relics being put up as well. So like I said, we're probably going to see some delayed fiends, not straight fiends, unless he is trying a different build. But that build is definitely a lot slower than usual. But maybe he thinks he maybe can just go for some DK harass, not gonna go for the creeping himself. He is power building a scout tower, and Mountain King should be out any moment. But definitely interesting build here for Yumiko. He does look like he's getting some militia in here, and I gotta pick up level 2, it looks like, on the little ogre / troll camp towards the bottom left position. And looks like this one acolyte is gonna spot here, and it looks like Death Knight is going to be on top of things. But Mountain King, with the aid of this militia, are probably going to be able to take down these ogres, and Death Knight may be able to get a coil on some of these trolls. Well, that's it's maybe all he can hope for in this point. Yumiko just got his hero out way too fast with that power build. Meanwhile, check out the main base of Yumiko is putting up that quick arcane, so the skeletons won't be able to do any harassment. As I said here, he's only going to be able to do some creep jacks on some trolls. Decides to just take down the weakened militia there with the coil, but Mountain King already picked up the circlet, and they're going to pick up close to level 2 a peasant. Actually probably going to be countered by his own peasant. Yep, smart play there by Yumiko. Did get some skeleton warriors involved now, and basically all Cechi can do right now is just harass with some skeletons. He's going for the quick tech, as I said before, and not going to get those fiends. So he's going to have delayed fiends. Probably going to start pumping them out as soon as he gets that second zig up, but actually no second zig. So that's interesting. Maybe Cechi just forgot to put the second zig. Maybe he doesn't have enough resources right now. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need it. But definitely didn't put up the second zig. It looks like he's about to do that right now. Anyways, let's get back to the fight. Actually had a surround here on the Death Knight. I didn't catch it, but probably just a standard Stormbolt and then a surround. But picks up level 2. Not looking too good here for Cechi. Probably a very bad start, and as well as a very unorthodox build here. Did put down start up that second ziggurat, as well as I said before, and it looks like this ghoul is gonna fall down here. Maybe he can get a nice little bash here. Now it looks like he did get a bash, unless that Stormbolt just lasted longer than I anticipated. Looks like that skeleton will be able to run away and spare a few XP. Mountain King looking pretty beefy with that circlet. Meanwhile, check out the base, and we are not seeing a tech, so this is definitely going to be a looks like it's going to be a quick expansion coming here for Yumiko. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how well this is going to do. Maybe he was thinking about attacking, but he said screw it after you got that DK surround and managed to take down that DK. He just managed to come over here and do the quick expo. He knows the Death Knight won't be back for quite some time, and here we go. We got Death Knight coming back, and it's gonna be rough seeing this only has 3 ghouls out here, actually making another crypt. So maybe we're gonna see some gargoyles. Haven't really seen Cechi do that too often. He's done it against Night Elf once, I remember, but probably he's done it a bunch of other times. I just haven't seen it. Should be interesting to see how it turns out against Yumiko, and is gonna be going after this quick expansion. And it looks like Cechi already on top of things. Already already anticipating the quick expansion. Mountain King's going to pick up level 3 though, so that level 2 Stormbolt is going to be very devastating. Does pick up a Boots Quell Thlas, probably not the best item he was hoping for, but let's see how well Yumiko is going to be able to fend off these ghouls. That Stormbolt's very strong, basically a one-hit KO on those ghouls, and just needs to try to keep these peasants alive. Basically, Cechi just needs to keep on putting up the harassment, stalling this expansion as much as he can, making sure he can get those gargoyles up relatively quick, unless he's going for like a mass fiend. I mean, against a Mountain King already at level 3, I wouldn't suggest going fiend, so I think he's probably just going to go for gargoyles. Because I guess if he wants to use some Stormbolts on the gargoyles, it's not going to do that much. I mean, it's going to take down one gargoyle, but is it really worth wasting 75 mana on a gargoyle? Fair trade for both players, but yeah, Cechi actually doing a pretty nice job here. Lost his 3 goals, but definitely worth the cost. Just damaged a lot of the footmen, as well as took down a lot of the peasants too. Had to actually bring in 3 militia to aid him from his main base. Actually didn't even have a lumber mill set up yet, so he's gonna have to wait for that to make that a guard tower. And we do have those gargoyles coming in, probably even maybe even gonna go after the main base if the only tower here is arcane, because those the gargoyles can actually do some nice harassment on the human base if the human base does not have guard towers. Guard towers are definitely a key to handle that gargoyle harassment. Meanwhile, we do have the first 2 gargoyles out. Looks like they're heading towards the middle of the map. Death Knight will join them, and Yumiko staying close to his expansion point, needs to keep that one guard tower alive. As you notice, those peasants were surrounding the guard tower, making sure if anything comes and harasses it, those peasants will be able to heal it up, and getting ready for enough resources to start pumping out that expansion point. 2 guards coming in here, and the only anti-air that will be able to take down these gargoyles is a Stormbolt, and he's probably not even going to waste that. Just going to heal up the guard tower continuously, and the gargoyles probably will not be able to take it down. Looks like guard tower is going to be finished, and that's going to be a hassle for Cechi now. Cechi's going to have to be careful. Looks like the gargoyle is going to die, but is going to be saved by a death coil. So the Stormbolt, Yumiko just missed the anticipation. Thought that Stormbolt was going to take down that gargoyle, but just missed it. And now he's going to start putting up the town hall, and nice position here on the guard tower. It looks like these gargoyles will be able to attack this without the guard tower, and Cechi was just testing it, see if it was in range, but it is not in that range. So these gargoyles are going to be pesky and just going to constantly attack this town hall, unless Yumiko is going to go for Stormbolt. There we go. It's not going to kill the gargoyle though, so very, very rough situation here for Yumiko. Looks like he's sending in some more peasants. Does have only 1 solo guard tower as well as an arcane tower at his base. So if he does manage to get a lot more gargoyles, he can push into the expansion, and maybe just a little bit tanking from the DK, and those gargoyles can take down those towers rather quickly if they do have the right tanking ability. Like I mean, like if the Death Knight runs in there and tanks the guard tower, but usually human players are aware of it and need to have the guard tower focus the guard right away. But yeah, these peasants are going to have to heal up this expansion point probably. There's the first gargoyle that goes down. Mountain King picks up level 4. Still only T1 for Yumiko, so this is going to be a very, very rough game here for Yumiko. He's going to have to basically keep up the expansion. If he loses right now, it could be very well GG, and he knows it too, so he's going to try to heal it up. Death Knight joining the posse now, and still level 1, and gargoyles are just going to try to keep hitting that. Only a Halls of the Dead, so he's not going for T3 anytime soon, so he's not going to go for destroyers. Just putting too much resources, and basically all of his resources in the Scarred push, and it looks like it's doing fairly well, causing Yumiko to not have too much lumber here. He's going to have to constantly repair this, and probably doesn't even have attack going. Doesn't have attack going. Actually putting a blacksmith, this is probably the best counter here. He's going to probably put down another barracks as well, and maybe even possibly go for the quick, not really quick, but a 2-rack rifle to counter this. With the expansion point, rifles can be pumped out very, very quickly. It's a rough situation for Yumiko. He has enough gold to pump out units, but he doesn't have the tech or the lumber to. And here we go. There is a nice little counter there by Cechi, countering that Stormbolt. Saw it really nice, and save that gargoyle. So really, really rough situation here for Yumiko. More gargoyles getting involved. His only hope is to put down more guard towers, and maybe if he even wants to go focus a guard tower, probably won't be a good idea though, because all these peasants could collapse on it and start healing it up. Meanwhile, let's check what we have here. Footman scouting the base of Cechi, and it can't go in the back of the base of Cechi and do some harassment because he just has the new Ruben as well as the Halls of Dead, doing some cold damage, and just nice little micromanagement here by Cechi. Needs to be very, very careful with these gargoyles. Doesn't want to lose any of them to some bad a micro to this one guard tower. That's the only anti-air he has, so basically that's the only thing he needs to worry about, as well as that Mountain King. But if the Mountain King is going to waste his mana, might as well, you know, it's a good sacrifice of a Gargoyle for the mana of the Mountain King. But it looks like Cechi's going to go start some creeping, maybe even possibly some tech. No tech yet, putting up a slaughterhouse, and maybe he's going to transition to ghouls. Ghouls may be, it might be a decent strategy if you upgrade to Black Citadel and upgrade the Frenzy. Those ghouls attack wicked fast. But anyways, gonna pick up some level 2 here off these Sea Turtles. Death Knight gonna tank the whole creep. Is gonna take a bit of damage, although that big Sea Turtle does do chaos damage, which is always very, very rough for anything to tank it. And looks like these 4 guard towers that Cechi's gonna let Yumiko keep those guard towers, as well as his expansion point. Arcane Vault hasn't even started attacking yet, but just doing some guard towers in the base. And meanwhile, we do have the creeping about finished here. Actually, Sea Turtle is only a melee unit, so he won't be able to attack these gargoyles. So actually, pretty smart decision here. It looks like this footman may get a creep jack, though. That would be funny, and it doesn't look like he's going to see it, though. We do have a potion invulnerability, very nice solid item for that Death Knight to pick up, as well as also picked up a potion of healing, as well as a sacrificial skull. Oh, maybe he's going to go for expansion of himself. That's exactly what he's doing, bringing out Acolyte, excuse me, and going to put it here. And yeah, that's very interesting, forcing Yumiko to run out of his base, but basically nothing he can do against this. The only anti-air unit he has is the Mountain King, and that's exactly what I was calling. He's going to stay T1 and just pump out a crap ton of rifles and possibly try to win this with a T1 push. I mean, it would be a solid counter of to these weak gargoyles. Basically, the only way to heal is to get some coils from the Death Knight. Death Knight is level 3, though, so those coils will do a basically heal up the gargoyle the whole time. He's going to go try to pick up level 4, though. Basically, the reason he's not going for a Lich here is because Lich would just slow down his army. Death Knight is a very quick unit with that Unholy Aura, and that Lich may just fall very, very quickly to that Mountain King Stormbolt, and maybe just a little focus in that coil, maybe just a little bit too late. Stormbolt is just very, very strong against weak, squishy heroes like Lich. Death Knight does need to be careful if Mountain King just came out of the shadows and just Stormbolted him. He would probably die. And just going to run over from that Sea Turtle. Yumiko playing very passive here. Just going to go for the creep camp in between both of his bases, I guess you could say, because I don't even think he teched yet. There we go. Got a tech going for Yumiko. Rifles coming in as well. 2 racks, and those rifles are going to be coming out like turkey on Thanksgiving. I don't even know if that was a good saying, but whatever. And yeah, we have level 4 going up for the Death Knight after this creep camp. It looks like he's taking down the trolls first, so they can't be ensnared. Ooh, Tome of Experience. It's gonna be a decent item. And actually his DK's trapped, but it doesn't need to worry about it. Look at these 2 potions of invulnerability for that Death Knight, and I'm just going to try to out-creep Yumiko in this situation. It's probably the best situation, and meanwhile, no Lich coming for Cechi yet. And look at this expansion, putting up the towers, spacing them out, just in case if there is going to be a fight here. There's going to be some nice towers to help defend this as well. No main base, no need, but maybe even possibly another expansion coming here for Yumiko, which would probably be very, 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 very bad for Cechi if he is able to get this up, and that would be just that would be Undead's worst nightmare if human players are able to get 3 expansions up, and that's exactly what Yumiko is seeking, and he's going for it again. He's gonna go for it, actually kill one of his footmen to save the experience. Doesn't have a heal on him, and he's gonna go for the 3rd expansion, and Cechi definitely needs to see this. He needs to do something about it. I'm afraid if he does, yeah, he already saw it with the gargoyles, but he's going to stay under 50 food, I believe. Yep, he's going to stay under 50 food. Is going to start making that Black Citadel, maybe even get a Lich out with an orb, possibly, but it's just too risky against that Mountain King with that level 2 Stormbolt. That thing will just destroy any squishy hero, as I said before. Actually, almost level 5, so almost level 3 Bolt, and looks like Cechi's going to use his map control right now and pick up the opposite ward as well. Picked up both Watcher wards, which is nice map control, especially against a human player. I don't have to worry about the two red mines. For the most part, I mean, they could sneak in there from the side. Looks like Mountain King's gonna come in and probably get some Stormbolts on the Death Knight, and Cechi's smart. He's gonna just pop the potion invulnerability. He does pick up sold an item, picked up a scroll of healing for his rifles, and that's gonna be a very, very nice item to assist those riflemen. And the only chance Cechi has are these ghouls. Those ghouls, that's why he's bringing them in. All those ghouls are basically going to be able to dominate rifles if they're not focused. And there's the level 5 pickup, so we have the level 3 Bolt now. And here's Cechi's chance. He's going to exchange some damage on his expansion points. He's going to have to heal this up, though, and definitely needs to keep the expansion point alive to win this game, probably. Doesn't look like actually got a Lich already. There's a little footman. Is going to die from some cold towers most likely. So Gargoyles definitely need to come back to this expansion point and help it out. That'll be a rough and a loss of a lot of resources for Cechi, and Cechi knows this, so he's gonna try to looks like he's just gonna try to finish off the expansion. No, he needs his aid of his Gargoyles now, and here we go. Lich coming in. Looks like maybe he's gonna go for the Frost Nova. That's probably the best choice here, and gonna have to have some nice micro here, and not the focus of the ghouls, but he does have some scroll protection. Very nice, and that's gonna be a very nice item here. A good fight here for Cechi with that scroll as the aid of 2 towers. Death Knight picks up level 5. Mountain King is just he can't really do too much. Only has a Strongbows and just running around, but that scroll of protection very solid. Yumiko already had to pop that scroll of healing early on, and there's a nice Frost Nova. Death Knight needs to use some nukes, has a lot of mana. Maybe he's going to save it for the Mountain King. Mountain King does have a potion of invulnerability though, just in case if he does get in trouble. Almost picking up that level 6 as well. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to go for the quick avatar. I don't think he really needs it in this situation, just because, I mean, does he really need it? I think he'll just go for level 3 bash probably. It doesn't really need to stomp, and here we go. Nicely done there by Cechi. Just won the battle at this expansion point. That results in Yumiko losing his expansion, his 3rd expansion point. So, or his 3rd base. Hypothetically, so very nice there by Cechi. Looks like Yumiko's not going to give up on this harassment though, just try to take down these acolytes. There's the Mountain King, picks up level 5, and just going to constantly use those clarity potions, which is nice. Getting some workshops at the expansion point as well. He's going to go for the castle upgrade. Does have some nice weak rifles in the battle, not really nice, but has some nice, why am I saying nice? Has some rifle that are weak in the back of the base, and Cechi's going to pick off these footmen. It looks like Lich is going to pick up level 2, meanwhile Mountain King just heading back towards his base. Let's have this Arcane Vault left still, and Cechi is very well in this game still, although he did take a lot of damage on that gold mine. Well, not really gold mine, on his expansion point. He did manage to stop that human 3rd expo, and people always say the undead expo is a lot better than the human expo, just because you know, undead players do struggle in resources. Undead armies do they rely on heroes. If you lose that DK, it could very well be over. So definitely need to keep that hero alive. As you see, like if you ever watch Lucifer's live stream, you can see some of his games that go late. Like I watched this 2-hour game on his stream once, and he basically just stayed in with a DK and a Lich. So you know, undead definitely need their heroes, and if they just lose their hero, maybe GG. But I mean, human players, they do rely on their heroes, but not as much as undead players. But in this game, yeah, definitely needs to rely on that Mountain King, just because he went to the solo Mountain King. But if it's like an Archmage, if you lose the Archmage, it's not the end of the world. Mountain King at level 6 might be the end of the world. But yeah, anyways, we do have the workshops up. Maybe he's gonna, I'm not even sure, maybe he's gonna go for the tank. No, he's gonna go for tanks. He could go for helicopters, knights, like Prado was saying here. This situation, picking up a panda actually. So okay, I guess maybe he's anticipating some tanks. Breath of Fire is gonna do nice damage on those tanks. Maybe he's gonna do Breath of Fire is basically gonna be a good nuke in this situation. It's good for copters, good for any land unit, I guess. Even if it doesn't do too much damage to knights, but it's still solid if you pick it up. But it's going to be nice counter to copters, nice counter to tanks. I'm still very interested to see when Yumiko is going to start pumping out. Maybe at 2,000 gold. Yeah, there we go. See the first tanks. And he's going for the tanks. It's going to be hard for Yumiko to stop this. I mean, his Gargoyles won't be able to aid those tanks or aid doing damage on the tanks. So it's basically going to be the 3 heroes and maybe some ghouls. Basically, those are the only units that can attack those tanks. He's going to have to use that Breath of Fire as well as he can. And it's going to be rough for Cechi to stop that, because those tanks will be able to focus those Gargoyles, you know, with some nice area of effect. Not really area of effect. The tanks shoot off, you know, little rockets at all of them. And if you have multiple tanks, it does a lot of damage over time. Meanwhile, we do the Mountain King running back in. Does have that boost of speed, though. Does have a Staff of TP as well. Potion of Invulnerability, just in case if he does get in trouble. Paladin, only at level 1. Has some nice items, though. Does have that Staff of Sanctuary, as well as a TP just in case, as well as a Potion also Invulnerability. Mountain King just going to continue to be pesky, and just try to Stormbolt some of those acolytes. Meanwhile, it does look like we have a little bit of, ooh, he's going to spot the first tank here, and it looks like Cechi's going to spot this and be like, holy crap, I got to get something to counter those tanks. And it looks like he spots it here, and yeah, he does spot it. Does need to be careful if that tank starts attacking that Gargoyle. He actually doesn't have the upgrade yet. He's just going for the 2-0 upgrade. 47 to 77 damage, and yeah, Yumiko doing a very, very nice harassment here. More tanks coming in as well. Actually, we just have a TP for Cechi, and Kechi's got a TP over here, and he knows that there is no rockets yet on those siege engines. Let's see if he's got to get it, though. No rocket upgrade yet. He's just going for the taking down the expansion point, and if he does manage to take down the expansion point, it is going to be a rough game here. Yumiko playing very, very smart here. Doesn't look like he's going for a huge commitment, but maybe he's just going to take down the expansion point. It looks like there's nothing basically Cechi can do. He's just doing so little damage. Ooh, that nuke on that panda. That panda almost dead. Can't heal at the core, remember, because he's not an undead hero. And there's another breath of fire. Did okay damage on these tanks, but definitely a very, very nice trade here for Yumiko. Losing a few tanks, but taking down basically all the Ziggs, and he's got to remake them at his base. Nice little counter there. There was a Stormbolt, and a nice little pass of the potion of ability did save that panda. Looks like this last siege engine will go down, and Cechi's expansion point will survive for another day, but did lose a lot of those ziggurats, and is going to cost him, you know, he's already over his 57 out of 40 food, so no more unit production for Cechi for some time. Actually did get a meat wagon involved as well, so meat wagon will definitely do a lot of damage on these siege engines, because they are basically buildings, mobile buildings, and it looks like these two tanks probably will be able to finish off this Necropolis. And here we go. Yumiko's not going to let these tanks die freely this time. He's going to bring in some of his units. That actually does have a blood mage as well, just going to zap the mana out away from that Death Knight, and it looks like he's trying to take down some of the acolytes as well as taking down the gold mine with these tanks. It looks like that one tank is trying to take down that sacrificial pit. Do we have some mortar teams? No, I didn't see the mortar teams. There's a nice little Frost Nova, nice little all new combination Frost Nova. Breath of Fire and a Coral, but these tanks just do too much siege damage. 3-1 upgrades here. Necropolis is going to fall down. Haunted Gold Mine already fell down as well. Are going to have the TP though out. Probably a smart decision there. Don't really need to do that much damage. If you take down the Haunted Gold Mine, it's basically GG. So yeah, Cechi is, whoa, we had that whole time. Look at what Yumiko did, putting up a third base, just mass towers, and 2 more tanks. Wave number, what is it, 4 or 5 coming in for Yumiko. Does have that level 6 Mountain King, and yeah, very smart play here by Yumiko, just abusing the human towers and just going for mass towers, and very nice strategy there, making Cechi. Now he's starting to upgrade the barrage. That's what you call a barrage or barrage. Nice little surround here with the little acolytes and ghouls, but it's not going to be enough. Is going to take down Necropolis, it looks like, and maybe going to get surrounded here. Does get another Stormbolt on that ghoul, and yeah, is going to lose those tanks once again. Is getting another meat wagon here. Does manage to cancel that Haunted Gold Mine. Maybe this tank will be able to take down the Necropolis as well. Maybe just going to try to retreat. Meanwhile, the 2 heroes of Yumiko going to creep that little troll camp slash ogre camp. Meanwhile, another tank being healed up by mass peasants, and yeah, doesn't have a lot of resources because he tried to build that 3rd expansion point, but I definitely did put the beating on Cechi. Cechi had to use a lot of resources, only at 50 out of 50 food right now. Does have those 3 heroes though, which could be a key to this game, and is getting some creeping here. Maybe he's going to come from the north just to maybe it's a little bit weaker, but definitely nice tower positions here by Yumiko. Yeah, nice little. Doesn't have too many towers at his base, just has a nice position here. Actually, the gold mine for both players are out, so yeah, if he isn't able to keep up this Haunted Gold Mine, which probably he won't against tanks, it's gonna be GG, because Cechi just doesn't have any more gold. That's his last time putting up that Haunted Gold Mine, and Mountain King's gonna come back in with the aid of a few tanks most likely, and here we go. Cechi is gonna try to get a nice item here, maybe even gonna sell it, pick up level 3 possibly on the Panda, and that's basically his best bet to counter against these tanks. Is his 3 heroes. They're gonna have to do all the DPS to his army, because those tanks did get barrage, and it looks like we do our barrage, and we do have the Mountain King coming in here trying to take down that 1 meat wagon, and there's nothing that Cechi can do to save it. Already trying to surround it with peasants, but that Mountain King is doing too much damage, and that tank is just going to be able to take down this Haunted Gold Mine. There's a nice sort of Stormbolt taking down the ghoul as well, so he is struggling in the lumber economy as well as the gold, and there is some barrage going off. In fact, actually gonna staff it out. Wow, that is just cruel. Gonna staff out the tank here. Yumiko gonna head back to his base, and that is just rough. 2 expansion points to 0 at this point. Cechi basically has the hero advantage, but I mean, how long can that really last against a level 6 or maybe even as a level 7, almost 7 Mountain King? That Mountain King just really nice. And more tanks coming out. What a surprise. And we're just going to see the 3 solo human player heroes with some towers. Basically get to out expand the undead player. And tanks are just gonna keep on going at expansion point, making sure Cechi can't do it. And then once he has enough, once he has enough resources, he's gonna start making some knights. He's gonna start making some rifle, maybe, probably not even rifle, maybe some caster, and then just overpower the undead player. But maybe you don't want to do that because you got some nasty nukes coming for both. If that panda picks up level 3, that's gonna be some nasty nuke. You know, Nova, Coil, Breath of Fire on any human unit. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough. So looks like he's going to try to continue to go siege engines here. Does have 3-2 upgrade. Very nice upgrades there on those engines. And yeah, sitting at 70 food. Maybe he's going to make some more units. The food limit for high upkeep is above 80, I believe. So more creeping coming here from the 2 heroes. Both heroes have every single hero for Yumiko. Actually, it does have that Staff of Sanctuary. Looks like Cechi is talking something. Not really sure. But yeah, it looks like Cechi's going to go ahead over here and try to get his panda level 3, most likely. It doesn't need to worry about that DK picking up experience, already level 5. But looks like the siege engine wave number like 7 or 8 or 9 is coming in here. Going to finish off the expansion point. Cechi really can't do anything at this point. Is going to get destroyed. And here we go. Now Mountain King's got to come in to aid this once again. And DK is the first to respond to this mass tank push, and he's probably going to see all the tanks. Actually a first knight getting involved here. Gargoyles to come in here, and they're going to fall so quickly to that barrage, or that piercing damage. Is really nice. It only does 16 to 20 damage, but it does so much area damage on every single gargoyle unit. I forget how many units it can actually hit, but I'll have to read up on that. But Mountain King actually almost got focused. That would have been bad. That would have been very bad. But I mean, with the resources that he has, it wouldn't have been too bad. He could have still been in this game. And it looks like we're having another expansion point possibly being put up. The 2 heroes of Yumiko multitasking here, moving the tanks around, moving the Mountain King around, as well as getting a 3rd expansion point on top of his main base. And it's gonna be very nice if he is able to get it, moving his peasants away so they don't get shockwaved again. Just having this one knight doing a lot of the tanking, and he's gonna pick up level 2 on both heroes. Ooh, Tomo experience, probably gonna pick that up on the paladin. And meanwhile, tank wave coming in again. Are going to take down these gargoyles. Basically the only buildings left for Cechi here, and he's probably not even going to be able to save this. Is going to go for the black citadel here, and once he takes that down, the only unit he does have to build, oh, he does have a crap ton of acolytes here, but another one's on here, but doesn't have even resources to make a haunted gold mine for that matter. And the only way he's going to do that is sell items. Does have that Tomb of Relics to sell items. Panda basically finally picks up the level 3 now, and finally can actually do something with the level 2 Breath of Fire. Another expansion being put up by Yumiko, and just abusing the human expansions. And as you see here, these siege engines just doing their job, basically putting Cechi, you know, handcuffing him here, basically making him attack these tanks, and he's just in a rough situation. Looks like he's bringing in the knights and the heroes now, and these 3 heroes for Cechi. Let's see how they respond here. And you see the Stormbolt, that 1 goal to start off this fight, is going to go into avatar form now. It looks like Cechi's going to go for the focus on the Paladin. Paladin's going to pop that potion, not really potion, just the Divine Shield. Lich is gonna go down because that the nuke for the Death Knight was on cooldown. Looks like it's gonna be countered with a Holy Light. Try to focus on Blood Mage. Blood Mage just had some mana drain going on, and another potion being popped off. Actually, the true potion lesser ability. Looks like the Panda is gonna fall down, and actually gonna get away a few more hits probably, and he's gonna pass the mana here, and probably gonna get a Stormbolt here. No, maybe gonna go for the Death Knight here, and does manage to take down the Paladin though, but I'm afraid Cechi's gonna lose this fight. Maybe gonna get a lucky bash here. Actually gonna banish him, so Death Knight can't be able to run away. It looks like another Stormbolt's gonna be the game of that Panda at least, because I'm not sure why Stormbolt Panda. There we go. Panda's going down, and 2 more Knights join the posse. Just too much Knight tankage, and Cechi calls GG. So pretty entertaining game there. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game, and you know, it was unorthodox. Didn't really see that was a pretty cool game by Yumiko. Even though human players, the expansions a little bit strong, but definitely a fun game to watch, fun game to cast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.